Hello all, Jamie Rogers here for Craftmania today to give you some last minute inspiration for your Christmas cards. Whether you're like me and running out of time for this year, or maybe you'd like to get ahead of the game and start on next year's or the years after. Basically simple quick ideas showing you how you can make some Christmas cards. Obviously all the techniques I'm going to share with you could use for your everyday cards as well as, or of course you could use this in scrapbooking after Christmas, or maybe even home decor or Christmas decorations if you prefer. Now the one we're going to work on today is using our lovely mistletoe robins die. Very, very simple card, but the reason I chose this one to show you really is because I want to play with the lava paste to show you how you can make your snowy effects across the bottom here. Not my favourite card in the world, I'm allowed to say that, I made it, I don't like all of them, trust me, but hopefully it's one that will give you a bit of an idea of how you could play around with your textures and your products to create different effects. So I've shown you on several videos already how the dies work. We've spoke about the paper cuts dies. This one's a bit dirty, I should clean this out already and I haven't, so just ignore me, we'll get rid of them. But how your paper cut dies work and how 50% of the design is going to cut out the top, 50% roughly out the bottom, and different ways that you can cut them around. So if you're new and this is the first video you've watched, do watch a couple of my other ones, and I'm sure we'll talk you through that. But I don't want to become too repetitive. You will have seen that in all of the other videos. So today I thought we would jump in and show you more about how we can work with the dies once we've got them and ways we can add to them. So although we've got our lovely mistletoe robins on this card, I thought I would also show you the same idea, but this time using our lovely snowman design, which is another one of the dies that come out this year. So the whole collection that we're looking at really is from this year's release from Paper Cuts of the Christmas edges. And actually what we could do is show you a bit of a scanning over of a few of the designs on the table. I'm sure Pete wouldn't mind giving you a little glimpse at some of the other designs. You're going to see our lovely fox in here somewhere. We've got our Christmas tree as well. There are penguins, Father Christmas, of course the lovely mistletoe robins that we're using, as well as a couple of others as well, which are just beautiful to be fair. And you could do these same techniques with all of these as well. All of the bits, by the way, that I'm showing you on this video will be available to purchase on the website too, which is www.craftmaniacraft.com. And if you wish to, you can pop on there, look in the As Seen on TV section, and you're going to go down to the part that says November-YouTube-last minute Christmas ideas. And you'll find pretty much all of the products I'm showing you in a little page there. There's about 200 odd products, all different stamps and dies and mediums and bits, and most of them have got some savings on them as well. So you might like to kind of have a little look on there and treat yourself, why not? So what we're going to do is we are going to take our lava paste. Now this is an Andy Skinner product, and I've got to be honest, I love this, and I didn't realise until we've come to film this video that I am actually running out of it, so I'm going to have to go steal another one from the shop. But lava paste is brilliant, so we're going to hook some of this out. It's basically a medium that we can take. It depends on how you want to use it, to what effect you wish to create with it. But I like to use it with a stipple brush, and all I'm going to do is literally just stipple it over the base of my card here. So I want this to be the bit where they're standing in the snow. We will actually use a different technique to colour our snowmen in a minute. We're going to keep them nice and white, but we're going to pop this on and spread this about. So as you can see, it's quite a nice thick consistency of a product. The thicker we put it on, the more it's going to bobble, and that'll make sense in a minute when we heat it. So I want to try and give you some areas of thick and thin so that you can see the difference. We're going to bring out a bit more and add it down to this end here. So we've got a bit more of the thickest area down there as well. I'm going to just dot that out. Now this is a really fun product because after we've used it, there's nothing stopping us from going back and adding more colour to it. We could paint over the top of it. Andy's collection has got some amazing artist paints in it that colour this really well actually. So if you wish to add more depth colour to this, you can do. But for this card, I just wanted to treat it as snow. So I'm quite happy with the colouring as it is. And we're actually going to make it sparkly once we've set it. So I'm going to turn that bit over just so we can see that we've got just the border element. I'm going to pop the lid back on our little jar there. Now do make sure that you wash your brushes out quite quickly because it will set in your brush, and I don't want you damaging any of your brushes. So just pop it into some water as soon as you can do. Excuse me. Now we're going to bring in a heat gun, and you do need a heat gun for this. It's going to have to be a proper heat gun, and you're going to have to give it a good bit of heating. So we're going to go over here. Now already we can see these large areas are starting to come to life. The colour changes slightly, it pops up, it becomes a bit more foamy, and that's your lava paste in action. Now you may imagine when this actually is set that it's going to go quite hard. It doesn't, it's actually quite foamy, which is quite nice because you don't have to worry about it damaging in the post. It's a little bit more forgiving than you might imagine it to be. It's also easier to paint because it's not quite so rigid. So if you do want to go in and add a colour over the top of it, you can. It's just a lovely texture, to be fair. So we're going to go all the way over that and heat it. Now the more you heat it, the more it will puff up. Be careful not to burn it, it is possible to burn. But the more it puffs up is up to you really. So we're going to just cover over that. Now hopefully you're seeing all this really nice definition. You can form it slightly as well, so if you've got any straggly bits come up that you don't like, give them a bit of a push down and you should find they'll actually stay there, which is quite nice. But quite quickly you can see you've got that really nice texture to this. It looks snowy already, and if you want to you can leave it as it is. I've got a couple of little burn marks on mine, so that helps because we're going to cover them up anyway. We're going to take a Versamark ink pad and we're going to pad over the top of it. And we're going to go over the top of our snowmen as well because I want to cover all of this image in the same embossing powder. So as I mentioned earlier, if you want to, you could add in paints to this. You could spritz it with some misters, or you could add colour cloud ink to this instead if you wanted to. Or you could go over it with some gilding polishes, or maybe like the frosted sparkle from the glitter kits. You could do any of them sort of finishes instead if you wish to, but I thought it would be fun to show you how we can heat it again with some embossing powder. So we're going to use Aurora, put my teeth back in, Aurora Crystal Sparkle, and we're going to sprinkle this over the top. So as you can see, this is really nice glittery embossing powder. I'm going to try and get that over the base bit. We might have to do a bit of a second pass of this one actually, because I'm running low on this as well actually. I've got a bit of a list, so I need to go shopping for. But this is a lovely powder and it really does give you that nice frosty morning effect to your snow. I'm going to tap off the excess. You can already see that dancing in the light, can't you? That glitter's really lovely. Really does sparkle nicely. But we're going to heat it to set it and show you how we can do that on top of your lava paste. We're going to bring back in our gun. And straight away, because our gun's nice and warm, we can see that's transforming. By the way, at home, please don't heat directly onto your kitchen table or your dining room table because it may damage it. I'm going to be honest, my table has seen a lot of heating, a lot of cutting, a lot of inking, and is possibly ready for the bin. So I'm not too worried. But don't heat on your nice posh dining room tables without using a mat beneath you, whether it be a cutting mat, a glass mat, or just something to protect the table, because it's not going to do it any favours. Well, I'm sure you know that without me telling you. I'm just going to heat the rest of this to bring that sparkle out. And there we have it. So there is your embossed lava paste effect. Now your lava paste isn't very expensive actually, and again this is on offer on our website. So is your embossing powders. I know off the top of my head these are only like $3.99 a jar, but at the moment we've got 15% off the colour I've just used on the website. So really nice to get hold of them and be able to create that style of effect. And I might actually use this one for the card instead of the robins, because I really like how that's turned out. So all I'm going to do is, you could score this on a scoreboard if you had one to hand. We're just going to fold that bit around there, and we're going to fold this bit around here by eye, and we're going to have a look and see if that fits okay. It should do. And I'm going to bring in a panel which I've already embossed. Now this is actually using one of our Pinpoint Daisy embossing folders. But to be honest, although it's called a daisy, I actually think this looks a lot like a snowflake. So I use it for quite a few of my Christmas cards because I think it's quite nice. And I'm going to use some Cosmic Shimmer glue on my little tabs here. So this is our Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear Glue. I'm using the 125ml bottle, which is the largest Cosmic Shimmer bottle we carry, or that they do actually. There are smaller ones if you've not used it before and you want to give it a try. There's a highlighter bottle, there's a 30ml bottle, a 60ml bottle, and then the large one at 125ml. but obviously you save more money the larger bottle you buy, to be honest with you. So we're going to hold that round there and we're going to let them set for just a second. Cosmic Shimmer does actually have quite a good quick grab effect to it, but if you are slightly impatient, they do also do a quick grab glue, which you can get hold of. That's actually an Andy Skinner glue as well, actually, but it's really good for using with your mixed media, or if you want to add on buttons and bits like that, more heavy effects or pieces to pages or projects, mixed media, bits like that. It will help you no end. And then we're going to go in and we're going to get our card blank. So this card blank, just used a couple of layers of card. We've got this really lovely deep red, and we've got our gold mirror card underneath that. And all we're going to do is pop that on the top here. Now what I didn't mention actually, because I was carried away in doing it, is our dome. So our snowmen are nice and domed on this one. If you don't want them as high as this, because mine are quite a way off the page, which I really like because I'm never afraid of making boxes and I like 3D elements like this. And to be honest, I'd be tempted to try and put a little shelf in the bottom here and add a little battery operated candle behind them so they lit up, which is something you can do if you're happy to keep it 3D. If you don't want to, then just make the piece of card they're on shorter by tucking more around the back of the card, and they will go into a more shallow dome. So it's up to you how far off of the card you actually wish for them to be. And then lastly for this one, I've already got this pre-cut. This one says, thinking of you at Christmas. And I've already heat embossed it in the same powder, just to give it a bit of a sparkly finish. And we're going to bring in our Cosmic Shimmer glue. I'm going to put this out on the back of my hand, but you don't have to, obviously. If you want to work on a tile or a mat, something like that, if you don't like putting the glue on your hand, we're just going to pad our die cut through here. Now, a nice little tip for you actually, when you heat emboss a die cut like this, if it is a bit of a floppy die cut as such, which some can be because they're quite delicate, the heat embossing will give it more body and more strength. So you can be a bit more tactile with it without you having to worry that it's going to break. And we're going to pop our sentiment down just behind the top of our snowman there. And that is our card finished. Now, if you wanted to, you could add some more pearls, you could do some more colouring, you could really go to town with it. But in comparison to our Robin one, I think our snowman one looks just as nice. And it's just a quick, simple, easy card that you could create, but really just trying to show you how you can play around with your lava paste and your embossing powders to create some really unique effects. As I said earlier, don't forget with your lava paste, you could be adding glues to this. You could add things like glitter kits if you don't want to do embossing to it. You could bring in things like your polishes and add them to it. Or you could even go to town and use Rayless misters over the top of it. It will receive any of them products, and that will help colour it and tone it and do some really fun things with the actual texture and lava paste element to it. So as I mentioned, all of the bits shown on this little video are available on the Craftmania website, which is www.craftmaniacraft.com. You're going to head on there and you're going to look for the section that says as seen on TV, and then that menu will drop down and you want the section that says November YouTube last minute Christmas ideas, and you'll find your lava paste, your dyes, your embossing powders, and literally about 200 or 300 different items in there, most of which are on offer, including some incredibly lovely Christmas designer boutique stamps, which I would highly recommend you have a little look at as well while you're on there. You can order online, but we also know that a few of you don't like to order online, which is absolutely fine. Our phone lines are open from 9 AM to 7 PM every day of the week, and you can give us a call on 01403 843 666, and Daphne will process your order for you, so you don't have to go online if you don't want to. Doesn't matter if you order online or by phone. Your orders within the UK, if you spend over £5, your P&P is completely free. If you wish to shop with us internationally, that's not a problem. We literally send it anywhere in the world. Your P&P is capped at just £10. So it doesn't matter how much you order, how much it weighs, or where it's going, the most postage you will pay is £10. If we can find it cheaper for you, we will actually refund the difference for you. Usually our parcels tend to cost about £24, take about 2 weeks to reach you. So you will pay the £10 of it, we will actually pay the remainder for you as a thank you for ordering. So nice and simple, but you can find out more about both of the postage rates as such on our website under the frequently asked questions page. And lastly, before I leave you, during November, when you spend over £10 online, we're actually giving you a free die. So every time you spend £10 or more in one transaction, you'll receive a free die worth around about £8.99. I have been showing you the dies on some of the videos, but to be honest, you've been ordering so much and the dies keep running out. So I've given up trying to show you which one it's going to be. Just pop online and it'll actually pop up as a little advert when you land on the website and show you which die is the current one we are giving away. And it's also on our homepage as well, just in case you do click off of it or don't notice it. But one die will be added into your order completely free of charge. You don't need to add any comments or coupons or anything like that. If you've already received that edition, that die, we're not going to double up. We've got a limited one per household so that you don't end up with multiples of them. But if you have received our previous free dies, so if maybe you've got the sleigh or the cake die, it doesn't matter, you can now order again and qualify for the current die, but it is limited to one per household of each design. But again, it tells you all of that on the adverts, you don't need to listen to me waffle. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little video. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube and you'll see lots of videos that we've uploaded throughout November giving you last minute ideas like these ones. And if you can't find us on YouTube, we're also on Facebook at Craftmania, and you can find all of these different videos listed as posts throughout the last month or so. Thank you so much for watching and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.